So today we will talk about right against exploitation. The main objective of the constitution is to see any person does not suffer exploitation in the hands of the other person and exploitation free society is established. Exploitation એટલે શું અત્યાચાર ખોટું કરવું કોકની હારે, that is called exploitation. So the main objective of the constitution is to make sure that no person faces exploitation or no person faces any type of problem, and to create a society and to create an environment that is free from exploitation. That is the objective of the constitution through this right. So this is the main objective of the constitution through the right against exploitation. Human trafficking એટલે માણસોને કિડનેપ કરી જાય અને પછી માણસોને વેચી નાખે, that is called human trafficking. Drudgery, I'll give you the meaning of drudgery. Okay, slavery એટલે લોકોને જબરદસ્તી સ્લેવ કરવા, wherein you don't pay them, you beat them up, you buy them, that is called slavery. Forced labor meaning you force someone to become your laborer, you force someone to be a laborer. Okay, all these things are banned. Okay, all these things are banned, and if it happens you can be pulled to court. You might have also heard cases કે નાના છોકરાઓને કિડનેપ કરી જાય ને એ લોકોને વેચી નાખે, that is called as child trafficking. Human trafficking એટલે જ્યારે બધા લોકો like big people also are kidnapped and sold. The violation of this right is a punishable offense. Okay, it's a punishable offense, that is you get punished if you do this. Illegal trade of children, women, forced labor or imposed slavery, work without pay, and old drudgery system has been ended through this right. What is drudgery system? I'll give you its meaning. Okay, so what they are saying, illegal trading એટલે વેચાણ કરવું, છોકરાઓનું વેચાણ કરવું, womenનું વેચાણ કરવું. Trade is what? Selling them. Okay, trading them. Forced labor, okay, forcing people to work for you, not paying them. Okay, work without pay, you make people work and you don't pay them. Imposed slavery, that you force people to be your slave, force people to be your gulam. Okay, all these things have been removed. To take work from any person without paying them or paying them less than minimum wages, forced or imposed labor is punishable act. So what they're saying ki if let's say you're not paying someone, or you're paying someone less, or you're forcing someone to work for you, then that is a punishable act. Any child under the age of 14 cannot be made to work in a factory, mine or any dangerous profession, garage, hotel, or cannot be employed as a household servant. So they are saying any child who is 14 years and below, you cannot tell them to work in the factory, you cannot tell them to work in the mine or any dangerous profession. Dangerous profession એટલે એવા jobs જેમાં તમારી લાઈફને ખતરો હોય, those are called as dangerous professions. Or make them work in a garage or hotel, or make them work in your house, that is not allowed. It's called child labor. Under the Prohibition of Child Labor Act, all these are punishable offense. So there is an act which is called as Child Labor Act. According to that act, all these things are punishable offense. If you are found doing it, you will be sent to jail. Mandatory services can be sought from any person for the purpose of public welfare or state military services in the field, irrespective of religion, gender, caste, class, or without remuneration. It's okay, don't do these two lines, do it till here. Okay, and I'll send you the meaning of drudgery. Okay, old drudgery system. What was the drudgery system? I'll give you the meaning. Right to freedom of religion. Any citizen of India can follow any religion of his choice and can promote and propagate the same in the mention in the provision of Constitution of India. So what they are trying to tell you over here is that every person has the right to follow his or her religion. They can promote their religion, they can propagate એટલે they can do activities that are related to their religion. No one can stop you. Okay, this is the main feature and this is the main right in the Constitution of India. But this right is to be enjoyed with permissible limits so that it does not affect the freedom of public administration. So what they are saying is that there is a limit to this freedom also. Why? So that to make sure that everybody lives in a healthy atmosphere. Okay, and to make sure that public life does not get affected because of religion. ઓકે. અધરવાઇઝ કોકવાર શું થાય કે કોક પોતાના રિલિજનને પ્રમોટ કરતું હોય કે કોઈ પોતાના રિલિજનના રિલેટેડ કંઈક એવું કહેતું હોય તો બીજા રિલિજનવાળાને પ્રોબ્લેમ થઈ જાય અને બે રિલિજન વચ્ચે ફાઇટ થઈ જાય. તો ઇન શોર્ટ લોકો અફેક્ટ થઈ જાય એ બધી વસ્તુથી. સો વોટ દે આર સેઇંગ ઇઝ દેટ દેર ઇઝ અ લિમિટ ટુ ધીસ act, this right also. Morality and health in the society. So that's just what they are saying, that જ્યારે બે religion, see, let's say what happens is, let's say I am a Hindu, I am saying Hindus are good, this, that, I am promoting my religion. Let's say some other religion, XYZ religion got irritated by me. They are like, why are these Hindus coming and talking all those things? So they come up to me and they tell me, you stop all those things. તો મારી વચ્ચે અને એ લોકો વચ્ચે ઝઘડો થાય તો દંગા ચાલુ થઈ જાય. જો દંગા ચાલુ થઈ જાય તો પબ્લિક પ્રોપર્ટીને અફેક્ટ થાય, એડમિનિસ્ટ્રેશનને અફેક્ટ થાય, હેલ્થ ઉપર અફેક્ટ થાય. સો દેટ ઇઝ વાય ધીસ રાઇટ હેઝ અ લિમિટ્સ ટુ ઇટ. The religious gathering, offering of prayers are not included in this. So what they are saying, that every person has the right to meet at a religious gathering. Religious gathering એટલે આપણી સભા થતી હોય કે રિલિજનના રિલેટેડ ભાષણ થતા હોય કે when you are praying, all those things are not included in this. Okay. The state of India does not have any religion of its own, or Indian state is not run as per the principles of any religion or sect. So what they are saying, no state in India has their own religion. In India also we don't have anything called national religion. Okay, our country is not ruling on the basis of any religion. We are a free country. Okay. The state cannot interfere in religious matter or religious belief of any group. So any state government or any Indian government cannot interfere in the problems of any religion. Not allowed. Okay. The religious group have been given freedom to establish any religious organization and can manage and administer them for religious and philanthropic aims. So what they are saying, any religion can start their organization. Okay, they can start their own group or they can start their own organization, and they have the right they have a right to do whatever they want to do in that organization or in that group related to religion. Also they also have philanthropic aims. Philanthropic aims એટલે ઘણા એવા રિલિજિયસ ગ્રુપ હોય છે જે લોકોની મદદ કરતા હોય છે. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ, યુ હેવ શીખ પીપલ, રાઇટ? શીખ લોકોના ગુરુદ્વારામાં બધા ગરીબ લોકોને ખાવાનું આપે છે. સિમિલરલી સાંઈબાબાનું મંદિર છે, ત્યાંય તે લોકોને ખીચડી, હર ગુરુવારે ખીચડી આપે છે. So that is philanthropic aims, when you try to work towards people, when you try to work towards betterment of the people. Okay, so what they are trying to say is that any religion can start their organizations for religious aims and for philanthropic aims. Okay. The state cannot use the fund collected through public taxes or public fund for the benefit and development of any specific religion or sect. So all of us pay taxes, right? We have road tax, we have house tax, we have income tax. So we pay all the tax. So that tax or the money that is collected by the state government, they cannot use that money for the development of any religion. They cannot build temples or they cannot use it for building something related to religion. Not allowed. The educational institution running on government grant cannot impart religious education or compel the students to participate in any religious education or attend any religious meet. So they are saying those educational institute which are owned by the government or run on government grant. Okay, જાણે કે આપણી જે ગુજરાતી મીડિયમની નંદકુંવરબા છે એ ગવર્મેન્ટ ગ્રાન્ટ ઉપર ચાલે છે, એટલે ગવર્મેન્ટ આપણને પૈસા આપે છે એ સ્કૂલ ચલાવવા માટે. ઘણી બધી એવી સ્કૂલ્સ બી છે જે ગવર્મેન્ટ સ્કૂલ્સ છે, દેટ ઇઝ રન બાય ધ ગવર્મેન્ટ. સો ઓલ ધોઝ સ્કૂલ્સમાં giving religious education is not allowed, wherein you tell people follow this religion, do this prayer, not allowed. Okay, or you cannot force the people to study particular religion, or you cannot force them to meet at a particular religious meeting. Okay, you cannot do all those things. Next is cultural and educational right. People of various religion, various language and culture live in India. So India is a land where many religion, many language, many culture are there. The people of India have the right to preserve their language, script, identity, culture, ethnicity. Any educational institution which rely on a government grant cannot deny education on the grounds of religion, caste, creed, language or any other reason. So what they are saying that people of India have the right to protect their religion. They have a right to protect their script. Script એટલે A, B, C, D, A, R, E, E, okay, K, K, G, that is called script. So we have the right to protect our language. We have the right to protect our script, our culture, our ethnicity. Ethnicity એટલે હું ગુજરાતી છું, મહારાષ્ટ્ર છું, મરાઠી છું. So that is our ethnicity. So we have the right to protect our ethnicity. And no educational institution in India, okay, can say no to a person who is taking admission on the basis of religion, caste, creed, language or any other reason. For example, अगर હું એડમિશન લેવા આવું તો સ્કૂલ મને એમ ન કહી શકે કે હું તમને એડમિશન નહીં આપું બિકોઝ તમે હિન્દુ છો કે બિકોઝ તમે ક્ષત્રિય છો કે બિકોઝ હું તમને નહીં આપું બિકોઝ તમે ગુજરાતી બોલો છો. સો આ બધા બેસિસ ઉપર યુ કેનોટ સે નો ફોર એડમિશન. ઓકે. If any individual appeals to vote on the grounds of religion, caste or language, then it is considered as a malpractice as per the Act of 123(3). So what they are saying कि even when you going for voting, okay, when you go to give votes to people, like જ્યારે તમે ઇલેક્શન માટે વોટિંગ કરવા જાઓ, અગર તમે પકડાઈ ગયા ત્યાં કે તમે પર્ટિક્યુલર પર્સનને એટલે વોટ આપો છો બિકોઝ એ તમારા રિલિજનથી બિલોંગ કરે છે કે બિકોઝ એ તમારા કાસ્ટથી બિલોંગ કરે છે, તો it is considered as an offense, it is considered as a crime. If you are voting for a person because of his abilities and capabilities, then fine. But if you are voting for someone because they belong to your religion, your caste, your language, then it is wrong. Any state can frame a law and provide the right to its citizen to form and manage any educational institution based on culture and linguistic minority. So what they are saying कि those people whose culture is very small, let's say whose language is very small, they can start their own educational institution. Like you have Christians, like right, એ લોકોનું રિલિજન ભાવનગરમાં ઓછું છે, રાઈટ, એ લોકોની લેંગ્વેજ બી બહુ ઓછી છે, તો દે કેન સ્ટાર્ટ ધેર એજ્યુકેશનલ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન. ઓકે.